King Lear?
I think I first read King Lear when I was 16, and life was never the same afterwards. And what I would always say is that I've never been in a situation in my life where a good working knowledge of King Lear wasn't directly helpful.
How did you approach the music composition?
Well, in some ways in this project, I'm asking everybody to do something they don't normally do, or to work in a way they don't normally work. So I had to ask myself that. So I don't usually pre-compose chunks of music and make a soundtrack out of them before we begin rehearsing. But that's what I did this time.
Why 23 scenes?
23 is I think a magical number, especially for physical theatre. It's a spiral number. It's a number with many very, very special qualities. And it's, I think when it comes to dramaturgy, it is exactly enough.
Why were you so certain to collaborate with the modern dance company from Butoh?
Well, I saw them actually before they started working at Butoh. I saw them dance together, and they worked really well as a unit, and that's what I needed. And they're young, they're teenagers, they're a little bit outside the world that we're making, and that's perfect. You know, they're a little bit of trouble in a really good way.
How did the idea of using video came to you?
Well, I saw a show that was in English for a German audience, and instead of being embarrassed about having German super titles, they incorporated that into the design of the set. I thought very beautifully. So the text was hanging there like a kind of part of the drama. And I thought I wanted to try and do something like that, because we don't have very much spoken text, almost very, very little, but the text is very important. So to have it hanging there on the wall, so to speak, is very important. And then also I wanted to add some live video in order to say something about the question of looking at things and looking at each other.
Why is the duration of each scene so important to you and to the piece?
Because there's a lot to get through. We don't want to hang around. Normally, I'd work by devising and improvising and not thinking about the length of things. But for this show, I wanted to have a very relaxed tempo generally, but also a good deal of compression in the scenes, a good deal of concision. So we get through, each scene should say something very clearly and concretely, and then move on.
Is there any new music equipment you are using particularly for this piece?
Not new, but I did find that when I was looking to try and make big chunks of quite concrete feeling music that seems identifiable, that the MPCs helped a lot, especially with the plug-in instruments. They had to my ears, they have the best virtual synthesizers I've heard.
Do you have it with you?
Yes.
Can you show us?
Sure. Lucky enough to have two MPCs. One I use for the old operating system, and I need to do that because there's a lot of shows that are still in repertory on there, and it doesn't convert to the new operating system. The new operating system is dramatically new. So I have this one, which is great because it has a keyboard, so it gives me a more musical access to the plug-in synths, the virtual synthesizers. the model synthesizers they have in here, which, like I say, to my ears are the best I've ever heard. They're very, very nice. If they're authentic, I don't really care. They just sound really, really good. So you have a really good Juno, a really good Moog, monosynth. Yeah, so it's a very, very nice to make things on.
Okay. So the piece is called King Lear Variations. Did you have any other source of inspiration other than Shakespeare?
Yeah, no, definitely. So the link is between King Lear and Butoh, the Japanese mime dance form, what they have in common. And the link was Japanese film versions of King Lear, of which there are a surprising number, and two very great films indeed. Tokyo Story from 1953 or 4, and Ran from 1980. So at either end of this big avant-garde revolution in Japanese performance art and film. And for some reason, a lot of these filmmakers were really drawn to King Lear as a story. And in between those two movies is the foundation of Butoh, which also seems to very naturally connect to King Lear. So yes, Shakespeare's the beginning of it, but certainly not the end as far as our story is concerned. We're not making a version of the Shakespeare, absolutely not.
So why are you combining very specific dance styles such as Butoh? We'll also have ballet.
Because there's something to do with the theme about what different sides of working need. So Butoh addresses itself to performers really exposing themselves to things which seem dark or obscene or difficult in order to aim at some kind of truth. The idea being that the world needs you to do that in order to see it clearly. And the continuation of ballet, for instance, says that, yes, in order to express yourself at all, you need a great deal of discipline. You need to acknowledge the functional reality of the traditions. It's not about honouring them in some distant way or putting it in a museum. On the contrary, they will show you a lot about how to express yourself in general. And I like the idea of trying to bring those two radically different ways of looking at dance together.
Okay, last question. Premiere is on the 21st and the 22nd of February in Societätstheater Dresden. And why should people come and see the show?
I think it will be a really compelling and strange new kind of theatre. I mean, that's what we're trying to do. I've taken things which don't usually belong to a whole evening of theatre, and we've tried to make a big, compelling, moving theatre piece from them. I think it will be full of a variety of things. I think it'll be very entertaining. I think you'll laugh, you'll cry, and get confused, but I hope in a good way, and and laugh. I also hope in a good way. I think it will be a very rich experience.
Thank you. Such a nice, machina cleaning this round. It's not alive, okay?
It's not alive.
Why
it's not alive?
Well, it is alive, but it's not alive. Live with Valentin.
Huh?
Hi, Valentin.
Hello.
So in King Lear Variations, you are Lear, the king.
Yeah.
Yes.
Middle, old, and after all, one like few chapters of this of the sunset of the conscious of Lear, and it's on interesting idea how to bring it together through different presences of dance, acting, and performing arts.
So how does it feel to be taken? Like you decide, it's your decision, right? To go away from power.
I followed the view and concept, and it's on development with Daniel Williams, who suggested, who proposed, who challenged. Let's take a risk to apply this material to what we are familiar to do, and also that would open up for us some new horizons.
Yes.
We're doing after this long-term collaboration, and not only with Daniel but also with all the cast. And let's see, it's full of it's hard to anticipate
Okay.
how it will go when it comes to full set with audience.
So you are still open to things
Absolutely,
emerging.
yeah.
Yes.
Nervous like a leaf on the wind.
Okay.
Like this thrown leaf that still under the snow. It just melted in Dresden.
Yes, it's
So,
still
please
melting.
come to this theater.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Valentin.
I didn't let me first this even.
It's Makina. Hallo, liebe Makina, wie geht es dir?
Ja, very good, very good. Getting ready.
So, du bist Teil des Cast von King Lear Variations.
Ja.
Wie fühlt es sich an, so lange zu warten, um an die Macht zu kommen und dann das nur für ein kurzes Moment zu genießen, bevor es dann von dir genommen wird?
Yeah, well, you know, the life of artists is very, very hard, very difficult. I have to wait on the backstage very long to really then go to the stage and show all my ability and my power. But that's the life, no? That's how artists sacrifice. That's the things. Show all your power in next 5 minutes.
And then how does it feel for it to be taken away?
To take it away.
Yeah, Daniel is alive. I didn't know you could do that. Look.
It just did it automatically. I just said I wanted to join.
So that's the thing. He just took it away, and
He just took away your power.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The director just took my power, and that's the things.
That's exactly what happens.
And you have to accept it and be very flexible.
Yeah.
Especially with Daniel Williams.
It's a sad story. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go. Thank you, Makina. Thank you, Daniel.
Ciao.
Yeah, we are live with Vicky. Vicky, how are you?
I'm very occupied with this costume thing.
Yes.
Yes, I'm occupied.
So, apart from your role as a dancer here, like Butoh dancer, Daniel also asked you to do the costumes or to come up with a concept for everyone, and it's seven people. So, how did you approach this task?
Yes, we have 7 people that they had to change at some point during the process. And this change, of course, is connected with the theme, the subject, from something old to something new.
Yes.
And I had this idea to connect these King Lear Variations with the motif of 3 boxes by Freud, And these three metals that they are noble metals, silver, gold, and copper,
Yes.
that they appear in all old folk stories.
Yes.
Yes, but also have this psychological depth in the analysis. And so I started with this.
Yes. And was
So the palette is, yes, gold, silver, and copper.
yes. And was there a difference, because you already knew some of the Butoh dancers? Was there a difference making the concept for their costumes were in contrast to making the costumes for the other dancers who you don't know so much?
Yes, I think there was a difference because in Butoh, the important thing is this decay.
Yes.
And I thought that this could be something for the Butoh dancers. Even in the first scenes that we all look so royal,
Yes.
there's signs of decay.
Yes.
And I couldn't feel or sense how this approach would look to other dancers, because to a ballet dancer to show the decay or a physical theater performer, it's maybe different if you don't carry it with your body. But I think we found the perfect contrasts
Yes.
to show this, yes. And for the rest, I think we go from black to white, which is again
Yes.
simply metaphor,
Yes.
but very strong.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, I have to end this thing.